I am one of the few people alive today who met him in the last 20 years who has actually seen him in a less saintly role. On rare occasions, he would even get angry with me when he disagreed with our positions. But what I know is his heart was so big and his humanity so great, we often had trouble keeping our official roles apart from our personal friendship. This speaks well of him. Mandela's 95 years teach us 3 lessons. First, you can't free anybody else, and you can't serve anybody else unless first you free yourself from bitterness and hatred and resentment and the paralysis they bring. Mandela walked out of prison after 27 years a greater man than he went in. Every day was a struggle. I could see it in his eyes even after he became president. Some old demon would rise up when somebody would do or say something stupid, but he fought it every day. I once told him that I got Chelsea up early in the morning to watch his last walk to freedom. You remember it was early in the morning here in America, and he was walking down that dirt road to get in the car to drive out the fence. And I said, you know, Mandela, you're a very great man, but you're also a canny politician. It was smart to bring your jailers to your inauguration, to put the leaders of opposition parties into your government, but tell me the truth. When you were walking down the road the last time, didn't you hate them again? He said briefly, I did. I'm old enough to tell the truth. He said, I felt hatred and fear. But I said to myself, if you hate them after you get in that car, you will still be their prisoner. I wanted to be free, and so I let it go. He said, people can take everything from you. I lost my family, the chance to see my children grow up, the best years of my life. They can take everything except your mind and your heart. Those things I decided not to give away. And he looked at me and smiled and he said, neither should you. That is a lesson that every human being on earth had better learn sooner or later. The grace of it embraces every friend he ever had. The second thing that he showed us was that our freedom to serve is limited when other people are not free and empowered. Mandela freed South African whites by creating an environment in which all people could participate. A minister friend of mine went to the airport once in Johannesburg because it was the only place where he could say a brief word of greeting to President Mandela. And he told me he saw Mandela walking across the airport terminal when he saw this young mother and her beautiful, blonde-haired, blue-eyed daughter about 6 years old. And he went up and shook hands with the child and said, do you know who I am? She said, yes, you're Mr. Mandela. You're my president. He said, yes, and if you stay in school and you work hard and you learn a lot, someday you could be president of South Africa. Think about that. He was imagining, after 300 years of discrimination, after all the violence and suffering of apartheid, that someday reconciliation might be enough that the white minority might once again legitimately be competitive for the presidency if everybody's mind and heart was in the right place. Almost no one would do that on instinct. He wanted all of us to be free. And finally, as I have seen and benefited from in this last 12 years, He proved you don't have to be in public office to serve the public. And that is what this day is all about. That is what the Mandela Center is all about. And though he is old and frail and fighting for his life, though over the last couple of years, as Chelsea and Hillary and I saw on 2 visits to Kuna last year, he doesn't hear so well, and he walks with the benefit of an elevated walker. What is in his heart still glows in his smile and lights up the room through his eyes. None of us has to be in public office to be of public service. So, first we must free ourselves. Then we must free and empower others. Then we must serve as a way of life, not as a route to office. Those are the lessons that every person on earth can learn, embrace, and live by. Thank you very much.